This gift comes from Mr. Unlimited, who is now the quarterback of...
It's got to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
You would think it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Just the Steelers and the Giants are the only ones who needed quarterbacks, and the Giants already signed...
They already got Jameis
Winston, and Pittsburgh had Russell Wilson last year. They probably worked things out, realized that they weren't going to get Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to say it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's who Russell Wilson got.
It is not the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Cowboys? He's coming back up Dak?
No, he's not going to come back up Dak Prescott.
Pick me.
I mean, anybody but, you are a pick me.
Peyton, do you have a guess?
The Giants.
No,
the Giants.
Wait, what?
The Giants signed Russell Wilson.
Unlimited.
They just signed Jameis Winston, though.
Yeah. To be the third stringer behind Tommy Cutlets.
They have the third overall pick, where they might
do
have the opportunity to take a quarterback.
So 3 things happen here.
3 things.
They don't like Shador. Shador said, don't bother drafting me. Or, they're actually trying to do the dumbest thing in football, and that is win 7 games.
They are just trying to create a true quarterback competition.
Yeah.
They want to throw everything against the wall, see if it sticks. That seems like the RJ Choppy way. Find me a quarterback any way possible.
Yeah, that is. It's good. This is a wild thing to do. You have the third overall pick. You're not gonna have. You're gonna have a 4-person quarterback room with Tommy Cutlets being there, and Jameis and Russ, and then Shador.
I would think
That's
Tommy
what you're
Cutlets
gonna do?
is probably out.
I would think he's probably out too. But still, you don't bring Russ in. I mean, they're not drafted Shador now, right?
I wouldn't think so. But I mean, see, this is one of the things that we talked about. Shador's not going 1. That's going to be Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Or Cam Ward will be the first quarterback taken, is what it appears. Abdul Carter could still go number 1, I guess, if the Titans trade the pick. But Shador was not going to be the first quarterback taken. So, all right, well, I don't think the Browns are going to take one. They could. But then you're talking about, okay, if the Giants at 3, if they don't take him, Patriots aren't. You start moving down the list, the next spot where it potentially ends up is the Jets.
For Shador?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Shador lands in New York and it's the Jets? After all the flirting he's done with the Giants. Remember he had the Giants cleats. He played catch with Malik Neighbors.
This is insanity. This is insanity, and it just shows they're just such a poorly run team. If you don't, let's just say they don't like Shador Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just said, you know what? We are going all in with Tommy DeVito, and we are going to tank for Arch Manning.
If they like Arch Manning,
you know what?
not?
It doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't even matter. You got to get your number 1. You got to get the number 1 quarterback. And now they know the family. I assume Eli likes the Giants still.
Tommy DeVito knows the family too.
Tommy DeVito is the family.
Yeah, he is.
He is the family.
Or Sean Stellato is for sure,
Right.
his agent. Hey, what do you think Sean Stellato's going to do about this? You think there's going to be a horse head
Buying a new fedora
in the Mara bed?
Yeah.
For filling up the quarterback room and jeopardizing his job.
Waltz Productions, right?
Yeah, exactly. She'll never be in that picture. He'll never be in the picture. What was the actor's name that he wouldn't put in his movie?
Johnny Fontaine.
Yeah, Johnny Fontaine. There we go. Peyton has no idea what we're talking about.
Peyton, you have no clue what we're talking about, do you?
No.
We'll ask him at 9 o'clock.
Part 1. Just part 1. That's all it is. Part 1.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Hang around until 9 for how young is Peyton Russell.
How young is Peyton Russell? But if you're the Giants, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be just tanking for the number 1 pick, and there's going to be a handful of quarterbacks that are out there. If you really don't like Shador, just do that. I would say screw it if you don't like Shador. Take him anyway. He might hit.
Yeah, and we talked about just a second ago that Shador's not going to be the number 1 pick. It's going to be Cam Ward, in theory, potentially, depending on if the Titans bail out of there. And we got to report yesterday, Sean. We got to report yesterday, Chop, that the cost of trading up for the first pick, yesterday's price is not today's price, Chop.
No, it's not. Usually
Tennessee Titans are putting the feelers out. They're saying, look, after we saw that really impressive Cam Ward pro day, saw him throw the football a little bit, we might just take him. And so you're going to have to really convince us to come off of the spot, which that's just bluster, isn't it? No way the Titans change what they think about Cam Ward based off of a throwing session in underwear on Monday.
I wouldn't think so.
You would think that's just some sort of attempt at bravado or just, all right, let's try and develop a market where there really isn't one. Because this is not a draft typically, I think, where you would say, I got to get up to number one. Because Cam Ward is not considered a slam dunk. Oh, that's a top type of quarterback. Even though he is the top quarterback in this class, he is not considered by most to be a
franchise changer.
If J.J. McCarthy were in this draft, he would be the number one quarterback. He would go number one. And that's a situation where J.J. McCarthy was considered like the third or fourth last year.
Yeah, I look, I've never really subscribed to that. Like, to me, I just think we're so bad at evaluations of people, of talent. as people, we're so bad at it that just, take the guy. Like, nobody thought Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he wasn't even the top ranked quarterback in his own class.
Yeah, that was just because
Josh Allen.
That was because of what they didn't know. They didn't like what he ran at Tech. You didn't know. You still had to answer what he's capable of. You saw the talent. I think everybody saw what he could do. They were just like, given that he's playing that offense, you don't know what his command is of things. And then they figured out real quick, oh, okay, he can do it. It's just that he had never been asked. It's a little bit like Micah, where it's like, Micah's a great pass rusher, but you don't know it just watching his tape because you can't figure out, all right, he wasn't asked to do it, really. I think he could do it, but I don't know. I'm projecting out a little bit.
Yeah, but isn't all of the draft based on measurables and projections?
Yeah, but typically you're projecting out something that you're going to ask them to do. Like you're going to see on tape something you're going to ask them to do at the next level. And there was Tech just ran a different kind of offense that you didn't know. All right, what kind of cerebral player is Patrick Mahomes? But I mentioned J.J. McCarthy there. I know you had a J.J. McCarthy note. He's being Mr. Humble right now. A little bit of fake humility there in Minnesota.
Yeah, he says the Vikings have not told him that he is their starter for next year, and that he actually kind of likes it.
They did tell him he's their starter for next year because they passed on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yes, they told him.
They told him with their actions.
Without words. But he is the starter. This is semantics. You walked away from Rodgers. You walked away from Darnold. Is Nick Mullins still there?
I don't know. If
Josh Dobbs still there? Like who are the backups they've rolled through over the last 48 months?
Yeah, where did Josh Dobbs?
I think he went to San Fran.
No, he signed with the Patriots. He was one of the millions of people the Patriots have signed and tried to sign, including Stefon Diggs yesterday.
So 3 for $69. How about that?
Yeah, and it's $26 million guaranteed.
So it's basically a 1-year deal.
Yeah, one with maybe there's a little pain getting out of it after 1 year.
Yeah,
but
I mean, look,
depends.
J.J. McCarthy is absolutely the starter. He knows he's the starter. He doesn't want to speak out of turn because they haven't officially announced it yet, even though they have announced it by their actions. Their words have not announced it, and he doesn't want to seem presumptuous.
He is a mature Michigan man, right? He learned from his time at Michigan what the Mavericks and Rick Welts still need to learn.
Deny.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do in Michigan. Deny.
You just shut your mouth. What'd you hear? That's right. You heard nothing.
Yeah, you heard nothing.
So just
heard nothing.
Wrap that up there.
So I like Jay. I think JJ will be fine. I mean, I think they're going to have a good season. They are also probably due for a little bit of a regression as a whole.
Is that what the Pythagorean model says?
That they're going to get a regression?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 14-3. You're probably not going to be 14-3.
Let's see. What was their expected win-loss? Because the first year they went 13-4.
Yeah,
they were supposed to be 7-9 or something. Their expected win-loss was 11-6. So still a good football team.
They'll come back to the pack a little bit. They'll be a good team. The NFC North is going to be a gauntlet. Chicago's improved. Green Bay's still very, very good. Detroit's got one more year left with this core before they got to start making a lot of decisions and they start losing players because of money. And then Minnesota is still a good football team. And guess who plays the NFC North?
Who? You?
Cowboys.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you should be.
Would you like to hear Micah Parsons' latest thoughts on one DeMarcus Lawrence?
Let's hear it.
All right, so this is from Pro Football Talk. Shireen Williams recapped a conversation that Clarence Hill had with Micah. We mentioned yesterday some of the stuff with Micah's contract and where he's at. I thought this is a really interesting way to describe it from Shireen. She says, Parsons no longer has to feign a camaraderie with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Oh.
And that's exactly what had happened over the last couple of years. This is what Micah Parsons told Clarence Hill of All City. He said, I thought it was my time last year trying to bring that team back in life, even though most people thought we were dead in the water. I think it's my time now. I don't got to bump heads with no other dude. I wish them guys the best, but it's kind of hard when you butt heads with another person. They think different, they feel different, and they want to be in the room different. Now it's my time to really take over. In regards to the maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more winning, I wouldn't have left. Well, Micah didn't really appreciate that. He said, I think it's ridiculous. You watch the tape. There's no question I'm locked in. I'm giving my actual best effort out there on the field, which I think that's all that matters. I have an obligation to be the leader of my family, to take care of my family, and that's to provide for them too. I keep the main thing, but I like off the field adventures too. Everyone has their selection of how they want to deal with things. Some people drink, some people smoke. I like to tweet. I like to be active and know about ball. I like to know what everyone else is doing, and that's just me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. What I care about is the effort you give me on the football field, and that's something you can't question. I know I'm one of the best players, and as long as I'm performing that way, it shouldn't matter. When you jump offside on the goal line, is that because I'm tweeting? I think it's ridiculous, outrageous. Woo! I think that's actually great reply from Micah.
Yeah.
Across the board. I think that's a great quote. He sat there and thought about that one before he... See, this is how you handle it, Babs. You go there, you think about what you want to say. But across the board, hey, I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm just tweeting. You want to compare me to other people over here? When he jumps off sides, is that because I sent out a tweet about Saquon Barkley?
The whole idea that he's on social media, and that's a problem. LeBron James is on social media.
I love that. I got kind of... I like when somebody talks a little bit of smack like that, but does it in a way of just, hey, tell me where I'm wrong. I'll own up to what you're saying right now, that I like to be on social media. I like to do other things, But
a lot of guys are.
Show me how that's more detrimental than some of these other things, and show me how that really messes you up. What are you doing?
Right, it doesn't do anything to you. Yeah, if you want to cut Micah, but that's the problem. Is everybody's gonna. The problem with throwing these kind of grenades at people is everyone in the league makes mistakes.
Stones from glass houses.
Yeah, every single one of these guys has a glass house.
Yeah,
everyone's throwing an interception. Everyone's fumbled. Everyone's missed an assignment. It's not the other guy's problem. He's not the reason why.